What is it worth to know if your cows are open or if they're bred? It's priceless. Obviously, it is priceless. But what about chute side, or if there is that one that might just be in question? Well, for less than $8, you can have an answer within just a few minutes. Central States Testing came out with a rapid early pregnancy test that you can use chute side, and for good reason. With the number of large animal veterinarians unfortunately decreasing every year, Central States Testing President Dustin Hessman came up with a quick, inexpensive, accurate way to assist and determine pregnancy in cows. Hey, Dustin, good to have you on the program. So, the rapid early pregnancy test from Central States Testing, it's chute side, and it's a blood test, correct?
Yeah, so it is a blood test. You can get blood from tail vein, jugular if you feel like fighting the head, wherever you feel like getting blood. And you just put 2 drops of blood into the test, 2 drops of diluent, and you'll know if she's pregnant or open in 5 to 20 minutes.
Oh, no kidding. So what is the degree of accuracy?
This test is 99.5% accurate.
Oh, my gosh. So, I mean, literally, we could be processing cows, and within a few minutes, we can know if she's open or bred.
28 days post-breeding.
So, obviously, it's not like an ultrasound or you're arming cows where, like when we arm cows, we can call them 30, 60, or 90 days or something. This is just to give you a real quick chute side. Is she open? Is she bred? Does she go to the left or does she go to the right?
That is correct. Yep.
Where do you see the practical application of producers to use this chute side?
Tigger, what's been interesting is the people I talked to at trade shows varied much more than I originally thought, the end user being. Initially, I thought producers running less than 75 head a year, in more rural southeast, southern part of the U.S. where there's just not as many large animal vets. But I've talked to ranches that have 3,000 mama cows that are interested. A lot of people who do reproduction AI are interested. I've even had some vets that go, we palpate or we ultrasound, but there's still just a couple we aren't sure of. And so it'd be another verification step. You just draw blood, 2 drops in the test, and you'll have results.
Okay, that makes total sense right there. I literally thought of this scenario. We were all doing it where you say, it happens where, the vet comes out, arms the cow. Yeah, something doesn't maybe quite feel right, which I do like having the vet that does that and can palpate those cows. Or if you're ultrasounding and I don't know, something just isn't quite right. And inadvertently, it happens when you start processing a number of females, right? That there's going to be just a few question marks in there that you don't understand. Now I can see we're having something like this where, okay, let's just hold on. Let's make darn sure one way or the other of which way she's going to go. Because when you've got way up prices are what they are right now for these cows versus trying to restock them, I mean, there's a considerable difference.
Yeah, there is. And, some of the local producers I've been talking to, they'll have 100 mama cows, and it's a $200 fee just to get the vet onto the operation. And then it's about $6, $6.50 per animal for palpating.
So this is not to replace a veterinarian. It's kind of that convenience, right? If I'm understanding that correctly.
Yeah, that is correct. My father being a large animal veterinarian, he's busy. We're having less and less large animal veterinarians. So it's getting harder for the producer to schedule one to come out. And they might be in a time crunch and they need to figure out what is bred, what is open.
So, Dustin, would you even recommend that a lot of those practicing veterinarians that are going out in the countryside, obviously that they've got some of these available that say they aren't ultrasounding per se, that they've got these available, that if there's that cow that we just are questioning, and as we said, prices being what they are, just to make darn sure one way or the other. I mean, that's kind of an obvious question, but I'd say this would be a great tool to have in their toolbox.
Oh, yeah, it would be a great tool. Whether you're palpating or ultrasounding, there's always going to be that one you're not quite sure of. And the great thing about our test is it has a 2-year shelf life. So if you have a kid at 25, they're going to last 2 years, and that'll give you plenty of opportunities to use them up.
I see this very, very practical applications for a lot of guys that maybe have some of those elite females in this different pen. Maybe you're dragging around some heifers for the summer, which those people that do that, you know what I'm talking about. It's always hard to get those open heifers bred, and when you're dragging them around, I can see practical applications for that. So let's just cut to the chase on this. What are we talking dollars? How do we get our hands on them?
We're going to have them in kits of 25 tests, or you can buy just an individual test. For a kit of 25, it's $7.50 a test. And unlike any other chute side preg test, ours includes the needle, syringe, and blood tube. So you don't have to get them anywhere else. Get blood wherever you want to. Tail vein, jugular. You put 2 drops of blood in the test, 2 drops of diluent, and at 28 days post-breeding, the accuracy is 99.5%.
Do you have these in stock as we speak, or are you just kind of filling the shelves with them right now?
We're starting to get them in hand. There's a couple things we have to do before we get them shipped out, but we are expecting them to be available by mid-September, more than likely sooner. That segment of the industry where, producers are having a hard time finding vets or getting vets to come out to their operation. And I think this would be a good tool for them to utilize.
Dustin Hessman with Central States Testing, thanks for coming on the program. This is my favorite part of bringing you all the Ranch It Up radio show each and every week. Practical, affordable tools and practices to make our operations more profitable. My favorite part. Now, here's how you order. Just head to cstbvd.com. That's cstbvd.com. We will have all of this information in the show notes at ranchitupshow.com just in case you missed it and you're driving and you can't write it down. But one more time, cstbvd.com. Get a pack of 25 for $7.50 a test. Now, we have lots and lots of news and updates to throw at y'all, so keep it parked, and the Ranch It Up radio show will be back after this.